Yes, we can see. It's all right.
Okay, so now it's working. It's working. Okay, so the light pollution experience from the Czech Republic. I have to say that the topic of light pollution is tackled for many years, 10, 20 years from different angles. And our ministry and our colleagues from biodiversity department are also working on this problem when protecting biodiversity and different sites. But the new era of the light pollution came like 3 years ago. And as we say, and also our colleagues from the academia and Czech Astronomical Institute Association, that light is a good servant but a bad master. And we all realize that. So the new era, as I was talking about, started in 2017 when Interministerial Working Group on Light Pollution was set by our ministry. And in the same year, we created information material, information document to the government about the problem of light pollution and its effects on human health and biodiversity. The year after, the government approved another document, so-called Action Plan on Light Pollution, which involved 14 tasks to be solved. I have to say during this overview that we have so far no specific law on light pollution here in Czech Republic. And when we go through our acts and laws, we can find some article in our law on nature and landscape protection prohibiting placing light sources in national parks. When we started working in this interministerial group, we wanted to tackle the problem of health, biodiversity, but also energy efficiency and also safety. As we all know, it's an issue in the debate. The interministerial groups, the members are members of different ministries, but also Confederation of Industry, Czech Astronomical Society, as they are really supporting us. Then railway administration to tackle the rails and roads. Just quick overview of the task set in the material 2 years ago. First was awareness raising campaign given to Ministry of Health, and to us as a Ministry of Environment. We are also trying to do some seminars, workshops to broaden the topic and to explain to public why light in the night matters and why there should be no light during the night. Also, NGOs, Academies of Science, Czech Astronomical Society are doing a great job with public. The second task was to set research projects, how actually light pollution affects the ecosystem in Czech Republic. I mean, there are many different studies from abroad, but we still are missing some kind of overview for the Czech Republic to base possible legislation on. Then we were looking at environmental impact assessments when constructions are made, how authorized persons should also look at the light pollution issues when they are giving their consensus. Also, the problem was how the cities can or can't work with the issue of light pollution in their area. And the Ministry of Interior worked out on a regulation of local public order matters and stated clearly that light can be also, it is disturbant as noise during the night. Then we looked at the subsidy schemes, and I will talk about them more in my presentation, because the consensus wasn't in general on how we should move forward in the issue of light pollution. So we thought the best way how to step in is when we as the government are giving money to reconstruction, renovation of public lighting. So we will set the rules how to do it. Another important thing was to look at Building Act. Right now in the Czech Republic, we are in the middle or almost at the end of the process of novelization of Building Act, and this and next year there will be a window of opportunity to tackle the problem of light pollution within the Building Act and also within technical requirements for buildings. Another big and essential issue, and Mr. Mohar was talking about it in his presentation, are the technical standards, the European standards, the international standards. So we made a list of all the norms and standards that we have to pay attention and that we have to try to change. And we are still working on that. And last but not least was a task for Ministry of Transport to assess the load of pollution from roads and railways infrastructure. And after analyzing this, create a methodology how to lower the level of light pollution. Then we also had a lot of complaints of citizens complaining on light pollution, having nowhere to go to solve their issues. We are still lacking the explicit competencies of public authorities. And then still in the debate is the business as usual of lighting industry, and also the question of road safety, public safety, etc. In this map, you can see the area of protected areas in the Czech Republic. You can see 4 national parks. You can see 26 protected landscape areas. And you can also see 3 dark sky areas. We have 3 so far. It's Magnetická, Jezerská, and Beskidská. They are not protected under a law, but still we do have, and we are happy that we do have them in the Czech Republic. And we have another 4th dark sky area in the area of Pody in the south of Bohemia, Moravia. And this is the map of artificial glare or brightness in the Czech Republic. And you can see that the big cities as Prague, Brno, Ostrava, you can see also the light pollution, not within the Czech Republic, but also across the border. And I was happy that Mr. Mohar mentioned at the opening of this presentation that the light pollution is not a national problem, it's also an international problem. And I very much agree with that. So if we try to cross the 2 maps of protected areas and the artificial brightness, we can have a little bit of notion how good or how bad the situation actually may be. With this intention, we also set the subsidy scheme on public lighting renovation. We agreed with the Ministry of Industry, who already was giving out money for renovation of public lighting for many years, and we stepped in as well, and we decided that we will support projects within municipalities in the national parks and protected landscape areas. And the Ministry of Trade will cover the other municipalities in the Czech Republic. So since 2017, 2018, 19, 20, each year we gave approximately 5 million euro for those projects, setting the rules. The intention on public lighting renovation is to reduce the light pollution and achieve energy savings, as it was before, but we stepped in also with reduction of light pollution, not only the energy savings, which in fact may create more light pollution. So what are the terms of our subsidy scheme? We have projects up to 75,000 euro. Then we have this mandatory upward light output ratio 0%. We also said that the level of brightness, lighting brightness of the road must not exceed the values required by the norm 13201 by more than 30%, because the norm, the standard, is not setting the maximum. Also, we set for municipalities in national park that the maximum of correlated color temperature has to be 2,700 kelvins, and in national parks we cover like 85% of eligible expenditure, which are the lighting sources themselves. In protected landscape areas and other areas, it's for 50%, and we gave a bonus for every lighting source, which is 2,700 kelvins and lower, because there was not general consensus if there will be enough lighting sources, enough companies who are able to actually do the projects. So in this slide, you can see the terms for the Czech Republic areas, public lighting renovation, except national parks. You can see the frameworks we set. We had different road types. You can see the bonus, and you can see the maximum correlated color temperature for different types of roads. We also set evaluation criteria where we measure the energy saved in total consumption and also eligible costs and the correlated color temperature. In fact, most of the projects were using so far correlated color temperature 3,000 kelvins and lower to get the bonus. So it proved for us that the companies can react and the projects are manageable, which was a great conclusion for us. Here you can see just the map of the projects within the national park and protected landscape areas for last 3 years. So we have around 70 and 30 in national parks, and we can add another 250 and more projects covering the Czech Republic from the money from the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Another slide I wanted to share with you is awareness raising. I was talking at the beginning of my presentation about the work the Czech Astronomical Society is doing. So right now they have a campaign which is joined with COVID situation. If there is any unnecessary light around you, you can see the lamp with the mask. So if you didn't notice, please follow them and join the campaign as well. And on the left side, we have the lighting guidelines for municipalities, because we needed something very simple for the mayors, how to proceed if they are planning a renovation, and what are the necessary elements of public lighting they have to pay attention to. So in my last slide, I wanted to share some thoughts of the way ahead of us here in the Czech Republic. We are really in necessity of updating the light pollution action plan from 2018. We have to focus on landmarks. We also have to focus on advertising and billboards. As I said, also recodification of building is essential. Technical standards are still a problem. And we have to make sure that the subsidy schemes, also from European funds, but also the national funds, are in line, not creating another light pollution. It's not just about public lighting or industrial sites. It's also, for example, greenhouses, which are subsidized from agriculture subsidies, etc. And as our deputy minister said, we really want to set the light pollution as a topic. We are doing so while drafting our new state environmental policy in 2030, where we have one goal, talking about reduction of noise, but we are also talking about a goal reduction of light pollution. And also there will be the debate, as Ms. Como mentioned, how we will measure it and what would be the right indicator. So far, we were thinking about the artificial sky brightness because we don't have any other data ready. Also, we would like to talk about light pollution at the European level with upcoming Czech presidency, and to be able to do something about standards and norms. We have to also join the international debate, not only at the European level, but also within the Commission, International Lighting Commissions, and try to push the debate in line to also protect biodiversity and human health.